Cave mystery case based USA, Nevada, Mojave Desert, near to Las Vegas, where Kenny Veach lives or lived, Las Vegas. What I want to do today is mention some very key points about the case, the hikes, and amongst other various hikers that have come and gone when out there in the area, and the concept of why the aspect ratio is the way it is, vertical, smaller. Because when it comes to supposedly YouTube Shorts and the reach, the discoverability, it could attract new people. So those that are interested in mysteries and cases that haven't come across this before, you'll be able to see it for the very first time. If anyone is new to my channel, new to the case and mystery, and you want to pick up on some points to catch up quickly, you can feel free to reach out, such as with the live chat present. So make sure all messages are showing. There we go. I don't know if there's anything else that can be adjusted or changed when going through this, because I've not done a vertical live stream in quite a while. Did it in the past. The one other benefit with doing it was the live chat didn't disappear on screen from what I could remember. It remained on screen, so I didn't have to keep touching the phone, which is interesting. I don't know why it would be like that horizontally, but nevertheless, 7 people already showing up. That's a good start. Welcome to those that are present. I will get more into it properly to do with the talks and discussions once enough people join on in, but, you know, let me know if you're familiar with the Kenny Veach case, the M Cave mystery. Have you heard of it before? Have you come across my channel before, etc.? As for other cases and situations, I will have to work on them other days, but need to give some attention to the Kenny Veach mystery. We've got Strawberry showing up on time. Well, on time as to when the live stream started. I was about 11 minutes late, so I know that's a bit naughty behaviour by me, but, you know, it's just when it comes to setting it up. So hopefully you're okay with the aspect ratio. This is done as experimental to see how it works and if it's any better compared to if it's done horizontally. Good thing is Strawberry. Yeah, the good thing is Strawberry is when doing it horizontally, it means the live chat will remain up. So I get to see your comments. I get to see you constantly. Okay, it's not going to disappear or fade away. We got Alex. Welcome back. If I'm correct in saying you were once present. Strawberry says, can't see you on my tablet. Are you able to see me on mobile at least? Let me know about that. But yeah, welcome Alex. I'm correct in saying I believe you were on my channel as a viewer previously in the past. Okay, so you can see me on mobile. That's good at least. Maybe it's because the aspect ratio. I know you're good at multitasking, but because we're all here as one, I guess only one device is needed. I know for people on television, TV, devices with bigger screens, it might look a bit unusual in this aspect, but we'll just see how it works. If more people show up through vertical live streams, I'll keep that up instead of doing it horizontally. It benefits me as well with the live chat. I can always look back at comments. I can always see stuff. Alex, there was a video made that got lots of views this year for the M Cave. So, Alex, which video are you referring to, or at least what channel? I can't quite think of the channel name, but is it to do with maybe a guy kind of like with a beard or stubble that has been out there in recent time? Can't quite remember the name, but they've done a handful of videos here and there over the year. You just let me know. I'm just trying to think where it might have been like, oh, this is where Kenny Veach is at. This is the final spot. Clues found along the way, but then Jeff Clark was countering that YouTube channel, which was a guy. But just let me know the video. Is it a video from a channel that does the case in general? I'm going to sneeze. I'm just wondering. Hopefully the quality in the audio is reasonable. Welcome to the 13 people that have shown up now. Hopefully more people come along. please covered the Ladybird Lake Killer. I don't think I've heard of that one before. Grammar, nice emojis, nice profile picture, looks mysterious. Welcome, Grammar, to the channel. Let me know if you've heard of the Kenny Veach MK case mystery before, if you've been around. Thank you, Strawberry. Might be the first time I've sneezed on a live stream. Must be a bit dusty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to briefly read out the bullet points in regard to some of the mysteries and interest within the case. Then I can go into it in a bit more depth. Grammar says, absolutely. So I'm guessing you are quite familiar with the case, which is a big plus. So we're going to be talking roughly about the mine shaft, the condition of it in 2025, reference to lost time by a fellow hiker in 2016 known as Jeff Clark. Lost footage, I believe 2024 onwards by SB Vegas Adventure Steve. The phone, the condition of it. Kenny Veach versus Jeff Clark with vibrations out there. The relationship status between Kenny and Sharon, because there's some unusual points there. Relationship, what else? Started the Kenny Veach hike. Really important that you got to look at the start of Kenny's hike video and understand what is missing, what was prioritized over what other hikers would do, right? Kenny Veach, Robbins Canyon, and a reference that Kenny made in his video, despite where he was supposed to be going. The chances of being found, the desert environment versus in public. What are the chances? Welcome to anyone else that has joined this live stream looking at the Kenny Veach MK mystery. We're going to be going through these mysteries and points bit by bit. Alex, yes, been following this case a long time. Appreciate that. And, you know, big shout out to, you know, like you, but also other people as well, because when it comes to the Kenny Veach case, it's the one mystery out there which people, regardless of age, have stuck with for a very long time. I started looking into the case from 2015 at the age of 15 years of age, and then did my first video of 2020, and then ever since went on. And yeah, we got Travis listening live from Egypt. Wow. Are you from Egypt or are you on holiday in Egypt? Regardless, might be the first time I've come across like a viewer based over there or so. What does Strawberry say? Ref, shoulders are yummy. Yeah, I have noticed, I don't know, well, it should be natural. There shouldn't be any changes, but why does it make my shoulders look really wide? I don't know. Does it do anything different when I stand up? I wonder if it's because of the way the camera's, I don't know, the angling or something, but I appreciate that, Strawberry. And I know you've had some food already, but, you know, you can treat this as dessert if you want. There we go. We've got Linda back once again. Hopefully, Linda, the aspect ratio is okay for you. I'm doing this just as a means of experimenting, because supposedly when you do a vertical live stream, it has better discoverability, so more people, newer viewers, get to come across it. So if new people get to come across the Kenny Veach MK case, it might help and complement it. Let's just acknowledge any points by Alex, younger guy. Oh, is that so, Alex? A younger guy. Is that possibly the person that did footage showing Kenny Veach supposedly caught on camera in a different desert walking and was driving and then was speaking to him, and at least his voice sounded like Kenny? Is that what you're referring to, Alex? Because, yeah, I think that was quite popular. We got Soul Rebel. Big shout out to Soul Rebel for their, you know, sticking around and following the case. Warlike Raf, good to see you. You too as well. Did any government agents come for you for all those videos that you're doing? So at this moment in time, Soul Rebel, when it comes to the US government, when it comes to the CIA, when it comes to military or any other agencies out there in the US, no one has come after me yet, but you never know. If it ever does happen, or if anything dark does occur, it's just a matter of being on the right track, because I might as well make the note right now. Look at this, Strawberry. I'm making notes on the spot, but actual video notes, because I can mention it a bit later on. Soul Rebel, you're giving me the idea, to do with Kenny Veach and the timing, because not enough people acknowledge it, or not enough people know about it within the case. Kenny Veach and the military land takeover. Hopefully Jeff Clark comes along, maybe. You might be able to help some people there. But I am doing it a bit earlier tonight, so maybe people from the US or in Nevada, Las Vegas might show up a bit later. I'll do the live stream for as long as I can. Let's catch up with some of the people. Okay. The CIA needs to hire Wall-Height ref. Maybe interesting. I'll doubt it again. Not had any visits from the Men in Black either yet. Then again, my wardrobe is mainly black in terms of the colour. Whatever happened to that guy, J Chuck Vlogs? He seems suspicious. How so, Soul Rebel? Now, in fairness, the way J Chuck speaks and presents himself and how he can pop up out of nowhere from one case to another, or from one country to another out of nowhere, if you see him for the very first time, or strangers, they'll be thinking, what is he doing? Who is he? It's such a situation where J Chuck is a desert dog. When he does lock in, no matter what he says, and if people said he was crazy, he still gets the job done. It's documented on his channel, or at least it was at one point. He's been out searching for Kenny. He's been up the ravines. He's done his little map analysis and whatnot. People could say his methods, his aims, his wording might be unusual, but he still gets the job done. And he has provided context along the way. But, from an outsider perspective, it could get confusing, because the reality is with the Kenny Veach case, it can be a bit loose, like a loose cannon. Bad things can happen along the way. Dodgy people can show up. So you always got to be prepared. So he speaks like he's covering up something after all those videos you made. Is that Sam? If possible, Soul Rebel, could you possibly give an example to me in what you're getting at? And then I'll give you my thoughts. We got Awesome Destroyer. I remember that person. Was it you, Awesome Destroyer, when... What? Wait, what? I thought this was a premiere. No. This is a live stream. So it means when I see your comments, I can respond back immediately, real time. Soul Rebel, he is so in love with Sharon Pilgrim. Why Eric the Hiker? Yeah. The thing is, Soul Rebel, there's been times where J Chuck may have locked on to maybe the theme of a female, is where it is. I'm aware, I don't know if you remember Soul Rebel, but there was a hiker, Mount Everest tour guide, some female from Nepal who was once a former Russian model. Why is it with all these people claiming to be models left, right and centre? You remember that Strawberry? You had Vanessa, the Colombian half-Italian model. Well, it was kind of same basis as that within the Kenny Veach case. She was called Nelia Osvich, who sent 60 emails to me within the space of a few minutes. I had to block them because they were spamming me like crazy. Their text to speech, whatever it was, they could not spell, they could not type. It was very unusual. Supposedly, some people were saying that Nelia was actually the ex or a boyfriend of Nelia that was using her account, or using an account fake profile of that one said person, and almost like being a catfish in a way. And J Chuck, in a way, fell in love with Nelia, got close and wanted to be together, or at least go to Mount Everest. But then what ended up happening was Nelia completely disappeared. But it's not the first person to disappear from the case, because I myself came across one individual kind of as a friend who was known as Michelle Mosaic, an individual from the US, and they were an okay person. They solved and deciphered codes and weird cryptic messages which I was receiving when I was being attacked and harassed in different ways by unusual presences of people. And then one day, Mosaic Michelle just vanished and disappeared out of nowhere. And the last known contact was there was a storm coming on in where I'm at, never heard from them again. And then some people may have done research or left some random comment saying, oh, she's a hairdresser or a hairstylist. What's the bloody pattern with hairstylists, hairdressers, and makeovers? I mean, is it like a sign to tell me, well, like Raf, you come across all these hairstylists because secretly your hair needs sorting out? I don't know. Maybe that's a mystery itself. But supposedly some kind of hairstylist, hairdresser, but no follow-up. Even if that was true, the fact that Mosaic Michelle may have ghosted me, very unusual behavior because of how active they were before that. They were quite positive. They had a dark past. They had bad encounters, I think, with an ex. They had a dog which was killed in front of them by the general public area, which was supposedly very dark and cold around them, and they may have been in danger. I've already done a dedicated video mystery about that. So if you want to check it back, feel free. Let's just acknowledge some of the comments. Awesome Destroyer, I used to be following this case for so long since UREF started his series, but I'm starting to have my doubts on his survival. Even if he's alive, he is no longer Kenny, so Kenny is dead. Fair enough. But what I will say is, Awesome Destroyer, even if Kenny Veach was dead or things have kind of gone there, been lost, it's what's been found along the way. Whether it links to Kenny or a deeper mystery beyond. Hikers that have gone out there, what they have found or documented caught on cameras, changes to the environment. The fact that military wanted to take over that land shortly after Kenny Veach announced publicly what he supposedly found online, caught the attention of the military. There could be deeper, darker secrets out there. So it's always worth acknowledging. What if Kenny changed his gender? Oh no, Soul Rebel. Let's not go there with the Marjorie claim of that obsessed individual. Oh, I remember that cretin of a cancerous cell. A certain individual out there, a creator that had obsessions with me, slandered my name, either used the footage or alternative content to harass me constantly. And, you know, in the end, they got into a bit of a hissy fit because of counterpoints made when it came to them claiming really full on that Kenny changed by surgery and gender. And if you go on the, Enchanted Forest Healing store, that's where you can see them present. Yep, let's not go there. I remember that all. I don't forget. Something tells me Sharon Pilgrim knows her story. Still doesn't add up. We got Michael Campin, welcome. Greetings from Sunderland, UK. Wow, that's a first. And speaking of Sunderland, they've been promoted to the Premier League, I believe. And as for, is it Job or Jude Bellingham? The brother to Jude Bellingham's gone to Borussia Dortmund, which is unfortunate because you've just been promoted to the Premier League and then you've gone off to the German league. But I think following in the same footsteps as Jude Bellingham, we've been related by brothers. That's interesting. Strawberry, everyone coming in, hit the like button. Much appreciated, Strawberry. Awesome Destroyer. Susan Veach is the one person in this case that I don't trust. Me and her have had conversations in the past, so yeah, I'm aware of that. And it just seems as though she kept trying to lead people into a circle over and over. So I'm going to be honest with you, Awesome Destroyer. In the past, I didn't have as much conflict with Susan Veach, even if other people did, and other people saw through Susan or didn't get on too well or, you know, picked up on things. I tried to be balanced, or at least tried to be patient, so bridges weren't burnt down just in case important stuff came along. But the last encounter I had with Susan Veach, I did nothing wrong. She took it completely out of context, overly emotional. Similar situations in the past with Atari, overly emotional. And whilst that was resolved, that particular situation, that type of behavior from those type of people are not needed or necessary in a mystery or true crime related, because it just adds to the confusion, adds to the backlog and slows everything down. Possibly went into a portal, says Wes. Have I come across Wes before? Welcome anyway to the channel. We've got Classy. Welcome back. Good to see. Yes, a portal could be another mystery. Yeah, because look, at the end of the day, you're looking for Kenny Veach, you're looking for an M cave, and whether it links or not, there could be a portal out there. Would that be a portal to getting into a military base, a portal and getting into alien-like presence, atmosphere? Classy says, listening not well today. Sorry to hear that. You don't have to share if you don't want to, but if you wanted a possible healing session on the spot from Dr. Warlight Ref, only if you want, feel free to let me know. But if so, just at least let me know what might be wrong, if possible, so then I know what to do. Besides that, also, MK, there's definitely something strange going on with it. MT, welcome MT. I think he probably Mr. Bill himself, what, suicide? I agree, M cave, there's vibrations from whatever technology could have turned a cave into a portal. I guess maybe if you're in tune with nature, the surrounding area, connected and close, you have to zone in. Kenny Veach was a spiritual person, and on that one time he was out there, some of it was different and he felt those vibrations. Now, Jeff Clark, I believe, isn't a spiritual individual, quite straightforward, and tries to use reasoning ability. Some might not be able to be in line with Jeff Clark, but if Jeff Clark can feel vibrations too, maybe it goes beyond that. Maybe you don't have to be spiritually in tune. Not quite. Maybe you went into the M cave, or W for Wambo. Okay. So welcome to anyone else that has joined or listening in. I do have the mysteries and notes on the side, which I will get into a bit more. But just feel free to listen in, and if you do have any questions, regarding the case, feel free to say. If you have any anything you need to learn or what you're confused, unsure about, you can leave a comment too, and we can go from there. A little bit quiet tonight, I'll be honest with you, but you never know, people may watch on catch up. I did do a notification earlier announcing what time I'd be doing a live stream. Sometimes it comes down to the hunger factor. Not everybody is always hungry for the stuff, or even maybe prepared. But here's where it is. So Kenny would camp out at night sometimes when he did long hikes. Yeah, he did. Because Wes, if you go onto Kenny Veach's Facebook page in the past, I believe 2012 or 2013, there are photos of him back then where he had a tent, he had equipment, he had a backpack and all of that, hiking out in the dark. Strawberry, raspberry water. Well, actually, technically yes, but also it's got strawberries and it's got apples. But can I taste any of that? Can't taste fuck all. But it tastes okay. It's called Summer Fruits. Summer Fruits, which is kind of like when you get the Oasis, but it tastes nothing like the two. Completely different. But yeah, that's the interesting thing. You get different drinks out there called Summer Fruits, and it could have the same fruits within it, but they taste completely different. Classy, lol, not necessarily Dr. Ref, just a simple upset stomach. Well, that's the thing, Classy. You're in the right hands, because I have some experience when it comes to people with bad stomachs. The only difference is, Classy, is you're actually deserving of the healing, because the other cretins I came across in the past decided to reject my healing and actually call me, a creep or something, or some dodgy, unusual person, even though they gave consent, which was very weird and incompetent by them. So I retracted the healing, and yeah, it went back onto them. Not sorry, it is what it is. Awesome Destroyer, Raf starting a mukbang. I'd pay money to see that, where I shove food into my mouth. I mean, there was one time, Awesome Destroyer, where I did eat a banana on camera. No, actually, I didn't eat it, I just put it in my mouth. But that was about it. But then again, a live stream, what I did maybe a few days ago, whenever it was. I did eat some chocolate, but it's hard to multitask. I'm not as good at multitasking as other people are when it comes to it. Very quiet. Where's all those cave hiker mystery people at? Where's the dark forces? Where's the mystery people? Everyone's hiding. Come on, come out. It's time. Or is it dried up? Has it gone very quiet? Interesting indeed. We'll see what happens after the live as well, because who knows if the reach, the discoverability, the notifications are working or not, because when it comes to the Kenny Veach case, YouTube at times does censor it. Maybe more so for other creators out there. But regardless, I'm going to jump on in now. I'm going to go through the notes. I'm going to go through the mysteries. I've waited long enough. I'm going to give my thoughts on it, what I know of, what I've heard of. And then once I've ended with the notes, we'll see where we are. Awesome Destroyer, what happened to Really Robin? Is he dead or still around? So if you're talking about the original, the real Really Robin, they did their little hike footage, had their channel, which they built up with time. I think they might have had 10,000 subscribers. Did a bit of a following, more so through Storm Area 51 videos and that trend. Then he ended up retracting it all, deleting his content. I managed to get screenshots of it before it got deleted. He deleted his channel as well, but before he did that, I did a Q&A with him in the background, and one of his answers was that he was closer to God. He wanted to focus on religion and get away from YouTube and all social media. Then after that, a fake Really Robin channel shows up, pretending to be him, as we saw. In between, Really Robin's friend supposedly reached out on Instagram and reached out to me and said an update will come. Years on, never happened. So great communication there. I did what I could. I documented and I archived, and it's on my channel, which is something better than nothing. And ever since, we've had the fake Robin claiming Kenny Veach was caught on camera in India, and it looked more like Mr. Bean on holiday. We also had the mention of a pen drive or a USB stick that's going to be chucked into the mine shaft. But the fake Robin's going to cover 3 to 4 hours on foot out into the desert, vast area, to get to a mine shaft, dump it in, and then walk away and expect someone to go and collect it, like cat and mouse. Unusual behavior. Sounds a lot of effort to go out of your way just for that. But right after an MK video, the OG Really Robin just disappearing for God right after the hike seems very strange. I don't know, I could be overthinking. Fair enough. Yeah, he probably only did like one video, didn't he? But then again, it wasn't just one video, because I've documented myself what Robin did. He did one video hiking out there in the wrong area, which is unusual, because if you think about it, there was research done. There was previous hikers before Robin. I think Robin went out in 2020, late 2020. Sean Horlacker did it from 2015, 16 or so, 2015, 2019, and then I think 2021, I could be wrong. Yeah, I might be wrong about that. It might have been 2015, maybe 2016, and 2019 at least. They're the most important times. Jeff Clark 2016, I think 2017, 2022, 2025, last month, I think the 29th of May. So there's that. So there was already hikers out there before Really Robin. All Really Robin had to do was look at those hike footage, the maps, the routes, and yet Robin decided to do his own hike in a completely different area. I wonder why. Why would he do that? You let me know what you think. And then what Robin did after that, when he ended up saying, I've solved the case. I think he left comments as well, I believe. He left comments all over. I've solved the case. I know the answers. Videos are coming up. He did a video. He got a bit of hate resistance. It backfired. Then he did a second video follow-up. And he also had an interview with, I think, a prison guard or police worker that just so happened to work alongside Sean Horlacker in the past. And Sean Horlacker was thinking, wait, I've seen that guy before. I know him. How did Really Robin know him as well? Is Really Robin in on the police, some kind of secret operative? There was one point where really Robin, the real one, wanted to meet up with Sean Horlecker, but also Jeff Clark and hang out. But for what reason, though? To gather intel and information like a spy or plant. On Godlike Productions, there was all kinds of conspiracies and ideas behind Robin, and took like dark turns. I don't know if that was a catalyst for Robin going quiet, but for the age he was, and I guess what he did, I think he was older than me, but you know, he just looked like an enthusiastic person, and that was it. But then I guess people saw a darker side of him. But right, yeah. Welcome to anyone else that has joined along. What I do want to talk about, though, is the mine shaft. The mine shaft which Kenny Veach stood near during his hike video intro, where his phone was found the 22nd of November by Red Rock Search and Rescue. The condition of the mine shaft as of 2025. What's fair to say is, from in the past to 2014, it was a certain way. From 2014 to maybe 2016, 17, not too drastic, but then from 2016 to 2022, 2025, a huge accelerator in like a catalyst, a speed up in wear and tear. It's an old mine shaft anyway, but it's like Active 49, I think, shooter on YouTube that made the comment about the condition of the mine shaft accelerating in it being more damaged and worn with time in a space of 10 years or so, and yet the 30, 40 years it was there before that, and before Kenny Veach went missing, it was in a certain way, and then it sped up all of a sudden so quickly. Did that indicate that there was just more active people showing up at the place than before Kenny Veach, because it was kind of put on the map by Kenny as a bit of a tourist spot in some way? Maybe. Awesome Destroyer, sorry for cutting you off, but what was found on the phone? Any weird text or footage or literally anything that can help with the case? Key question, of course. That's fine. Being honest, Awesome Destroyer, Red Rock Search and Rescue, very hush and quiet about it, very uncooperative. When Sean Horlecker and maybe Jeff Clark tried reaching out, not much of a response from Search and Rescue. The condition of the phone, complete mystery. It's really important to know the condition of the phone. If Kenny's phone is damaged, that could imply maybe Kenny was in a rush. If the phone was in good condition, it was gently placed down on the ground, as if it was done on purpose. When you gently place something on the ground, you're taking care of it. You want it to be in stable, good condition for it to either be usable, identifiable, and findable. If you slam it down on the ground, if you crush it with your foot, you break the screen, you try and break the SIM card or whatever, what, to stop being traced or tracked, thrown on the ground in a rush, in a hurry, with the exception of if it's somewhat damaged, may have fallen out of the pocket, but Kenny Veach had deep pockets, and that's not a reference to money, but deep pockets as in the clothing, the cargo pants, the pockets there, so would it easily fall out? And the coins that were found at the mine shaft near to the phone, were the coins in the same pocket as the phone, or what? I wonder, did he empty his pockets metaphorically and figuratively speaking, or was there a bit more to it? As for what was found on the phone, no real mention of that. As for conversations or text, not really any mention about that. The only thing that I can say, Awesome Destroyer, not from Search and Rescue, not from the search efforts there, but what Susan Veach provided as for hard evidence and material was a direct conversation before Kenny set out there on his hike the final time between his nephew Hunter Veach, and he said that I have a surprise for you when I get back. So Kenny Veach was intending on returning back to give a surprise, a present to his nephew Hunter. So that says a lot, doesn't it? From a suicidal person, supposedly, that he's excited to give his nephew a surprise, but could just not make it back. Seems like there's a bit more to it. The fact that Kenny Veach said in that text conversation that if he doesn't find a cave, he will hike north for 45 miles, as in one way. That's how it came across. That's how it was worded in the text. Has anyone hiked 45 miles? No. Would it be expected? Absolutely not. But is it possible to drive in the distance north, park somewhere in the radius of where the 45 miles would lead to see if Kenny Veach is over there? Maybe. Strawberry, lots of love to you as well. My strawberry. Speaking of which, a little bit thirsty. Travis, if you ever get to the M Cave area, what things would you most want to check on or look at with your own eyes? I mean, the practicalities of it isn't practical, but just based off a vision, right? The vision of what I would be thinking of would definitely be the supposed covered up M Cave area, to try and sense that in some way. Probably the keyhole shallow cave spot, and then maybe that rock formation over Wild Horse Pass, going down through the cut, but then taking a right and then heading north, the way Scott Natal came on down that one time, and that rock formation where that tent was and the bamboo concealed sword. And Scott Natal took that home and then he lost it. That's not good. Is there any chance that a body was found in the area at any point and that could be Kenny's but unidentified? Or hasn't been identified? So, the thing is with that awesome destroyer, we came across, what is it, Gene Lukowski, supposedly a fake person from the search and rescue, supposedly, because I believe it was, what, David Cummings, the Red Rock commander at the time, and Susan Veach reached out to via email and said, do you know of a Gene Lukowski? And they said, nope, never heard of. Could have been a fake. Gene had mentioned that there was a private group searching for another missing person out there, and that I don't think it was Black Gate Canyon, but it's kind of close to the beginning of the hike of Joe May Road, but not heading north, but I think it's more, is it southeast or so, up a different canyon, and a femur bone was claimed to have been found previously. Turned out to be animal related. But any private searches being done out there, it does make you think. But you've got Eric the hiker, and just the fact that Eric the hiker was in contact with Sharon Pilgrim, Kenny's ex-girlfriend, about going out hiking and searching, and Sharon said, well, let me know. And then days passed by, we've not heard from you. Was there a follow-up? No. Weird, unusual. The only other thing, awesome destroyer, a body was found in or at around Frenchman Mountains, which is in a completely different area from where Kenny hiked, of course. So how's that significant? Why did I do a video of it in the past? I did. No identification, and I think still to this day, no update on it, which is incompetent, if I'll be honest with you. No follow-up online, even though it was reported in the first place. Because Kenny Veach did say that he found M-shaped cave, he found and felt vibrations, and the cave was near to Nellis Air Force Base, which is the outskirts of Las Vegas, and it's more east. Where Kenny Veach was hiking was near to Nellis Testing Range, completely different to a military base, an actual base with aircraft and all that. So where did Kenny actually find the cave? Near to the Nellis Air Force Base, in his own words, or did he meant to say Nellis Test Range because of its Frenchman Mountains, because that's the closest one there, and a body was found? Who knows? Of course, it depends where the body was found and when it dates back to, because Frenchman Mountains is more explorable, more touristy than, of course, Joe May Canyon. That is desolate for a reason, and so out there. Frenchman Mountains, closer to the city and outskirt, but people would go up there. Interestingly, when Scott Natal was searching for Kenny to do with the homeless community, the underground aspect, and Scott and Tal said, in outer skirts near the desert area, some cave, shallow, and there was some cardboard found, and he came across a homeless person that didn't want to be spoken to or ended up running away. But then you had Sean Horlacker that said when he was in Las Vegas or outer skirts, when driving by, he saw Kenny Veach on the side of the road and never saw him again. It's a way it's just said so casually. How much of it is true? Misidentified, you thought it was him, it may have sounded like him. As long as it's documented, that's what matters, but some of these occasions it's not been documented, which is unfortunate. Welcome to anyone else that has joined. If there are any people, it's still a very quiet night today, which is unfortunate, but, you know, not done the Kenny Veach case for a bit. Maybe not everybody's aware of it. But you'd think maybe as time gets on, if it gets a bit later into the night, more people may join on in, hopefully. Are you warm, Strawberry? So, yeah, the condition of the mine shaft of 2025, there's gaps in the boards, planks broken as if someone stepped on it, wear and tear, the weight of the individual, etc. could happen. But then at the front, around the rim of the board, it was filled in with a lot of dirt, and some of it was kicked onto the boards as well. Strawberry, very. I'm glad to hear, and I'm sure it'll get warmer later on in the night. I don't know if the curtains need shutting or not at the moment. But yeah, how was your day, Strawberry? I hope you had a good day. Yeah. So the condition of the mine shaft has accelerated in terms of the damage aspect. The temporary mystery of the brace, more so the destruction to the ladder, part of that caused by Outpost Mojave in 2018, but they owned up and explained, which is understandable. That's fine, that's okay. But I don't believe they broke the brace. So who broke the brace of the ladder, which was attached to the wooden beams or posts, which was the strongest point? It was ripped out, it was pried out with tools. Why would anyone do that? To sabotage it in hopes of causing a misadventure for another hiker that goes out there? But be careful with places like this. If it's desolate and remote, but it's put on the map and it's known, others could go out there to cause problems for others. Some could go out there and wait to ambush. Alex, have you looked at the Epstein case before? I haven't, actually. Wouldn't be surprised if I did. YouTube would probably end up screwing me over in some way. Who knows? I'd have to be like censored all over the place. But as for me, I mainly just cover like mysteries, missing person cases, true crime at this moment in time, but could have tried other stuff in the future. Also, didn't Sharon say Kenny killed himself in the comments of his M-Cave video? Along the lines of that, but I think it was more so, I think that's what the case is, not that she knows with absolute certainty and confidence. What a lot of people don't know, Alex, is Sharon in one comment said Kenny didn't left his video camera at home, but his other camera was missing. So did he take that with him for taking photos only? Strawberry, it will get hotter, Raf. Does that sound? I'm going to be honest with you, Strawberry. When I'm in the presence of a fruit, I get awfully dehydrated very often, and I need a lot of water, but it's worth it. So, we got Maddie. Welcome, Maddie, to the channel. Appreciate you watching. What's your take on Driven X Adventure video 7 months ago saying nothing strange out there, M-Cave not covered up, and have you seen his video? That's the guy, Driven X Adventure. I don't know if that's the same person that supposedly caught Kenny Veach alive on camera, or that might have been a different channel out there. But I do believe, Maddie, that Driven X Adventure has done some other videos in between since, and it caught the attention of Jeff Clark, as in, what is that guy trying to put across within the case as for the outlook of it? I don't know if it was Driven X Adventure, but I did see a video where at least someone had equipment and they tried putting in a snake camera or so into the cracks or gaps of that supposed covered up cave. There is that. But what I will say is, Maddie, for Driven X Adventure to say that there is nothing strange out there. Oh, no, no, no. There is strange things out there. The fact that Scott Natal, when hiking out there and on the way back in the dark, heard footsteps and sounds, that when Sean Horlacher was out there in 2019, I believe, on the way back, heard sounds, footsteps following him in the dark. The fact that Jay Chuck and possibly SB Vegas Adventures heard whispers and sounds daytime when walking about. The fact that Jeff Clark felt vibrations in a different area, similar to what Kenny Veach felt. That Jeff Clark in 2016, unknown to him, but found out later, that a 0.74 mile hike took 2 hours, 10 minutes, based on his photos and comparisons. And that when he did it just recent in 2025, it took 40 minutes. Still long, but a lot shorter. Something definitely happened. But the fact that in that same area where Jeff Clark lost time, in the same area next to the covered M cave when Sean Horlacher got sick and ill from leaning up against a rock, when SB Vegas Adventures walked by the area, ended up losing footage and it disappeared into thin air and he couldn't find it. So very unusual. Sean was there and SB, and their takes are spot on. The one, I did a video, it caused resistance, but I'm just being realistic. When it came to Aqua Chigga, that went out there, he just completely walked right past the covered cave, kind of blanked it completely. I guess people don't always do the research, but when I did my video then, you know, you had Aqua Chigga supporters coming on over, whinging and whining, just because they're a bigger channel and I'm a smaller channel. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you need to be grateful. Excuse me? I'm doing it from 2015, locked in 2020 onwards, one of the catalysts behind it. I don't call myself an expert, but veteran hikers have called me an expert. Because, you know, there is hike routes. I'm not even from the US, I'm not even from the area, and I've created hike routes which hikers have used themselves and have successfully made it all the way and back home safely. That's extremely important, and when I've always done my map analysis when it comes to planning out a route or suggesting it, I'm taking it extremely serious, because if it goes wrong, someone could die, I could be I don't know, some people could try and blame me. We got Vesna Egic, welcome to the channel. There we go, SB Vegas Adventures present, key individual. SB Vegas Adventures, when I was covering other stuff from 2022 onwards, with Jeff Clark as well, single-handedly keeping the case alive, which is a positive. Awesome Destroyer. Yeah, but like Scott would say, anything for views, the others are intriguing them. I mean, I've not looked too much into it, but yeah, there was people with suspicions with Scott Natal, which is unfortunate. I mean, if Scott Natal was doing anything dodgy, when he did move on to other cases, I'm surprised he didn't make the most of it then. You know, if someone's going to fake something and exploit, you'd expect them to keep on going and maybe make the most of it. But if they're very casual about it and they don't push it much and they don't go out much, it's like, is there a bit more genuinity behind it? Could there be a misunderstanding? We've got Danny present, welcome. The Shuriken Zone, interesting username. Greetings from Atlanta. Just scrolled in. Are we talking about Kenny Veach here? Absolutely. We're talking about the Kenny Veach M Cave mystery case and all the mysteries that come along with it by fellow hikers that have been out there and have had strange encounters. So Catherine, such a mystery. Thank you for having such wealth of information. You're welcome. Thankfully, I've managed to remember it in here. As for specific dates and times, I might not be able to remember that, but the rest of it will be documented on my channel. I've got a full playlist on the case, at least over 300 videos, maybe 400 on the Kenny Veach case now. Danny, that case will probably never be solved, almost 11 years. But like with true crime cases, when it's said that's not solved, this is not solved, but maybe some things can be solved along the way, even if it's only small scale stuff, or if we can clear up rubbish along the way, just to make it a bit easier for people to learn as we go along, that can help as well. I think Positive O says awesome destroyer. Prime. I'm Prime. Interesting. Is there any other people present with the star sign Aquarius? Any Aquarius people present? Shuriken, fascinating. That MK business seems I've stumbled upon an interesting spot. It goes so deep, this case and beyond. You know, Shuriken's there. I've come across cryptic codes, Morse codes, binary codes, alternative language and beyond. Strawberry, me? Sorry, I can't remember. Did I say something? I probably said something, but then I was thinking something else. Sorry, Strawberry, what did I say? Like everyone said, Aquarius. Oh, yeah. Of course, Strawberry, I know you're Aquarius. I feel your presence. I feel the water. At one with water. Danny, what do you think happened to Kenny? Like, if your life depended on it, what would you believe? Sam. My life doesn't have to depend on it. All I would say is, based on the material and evidence gathered with time, there is more evidence and material to suggest that Kenny Veach is alive compared to out in the desert area. In the desert area, you got a vehicle and a phone. No traces of blood, no traces of a body or bones, clothing, backpack, additional camera, none of that. But you got CCTV footage which appears to show a person looking like Kenny and stumbling about like Kenny and with the same leg injury from the past. Healing store as well, owned by the family. Interesting, coincidence maybe. 2022, I believe, November time. Kenny's Facebook account contacting Susan, doing a call. Wasn't followed upon in the moment, but Susan tried calling back, no answer. Shortly after that, supposedly the Kenny Veach uninstalled the Facebook Messenger, so that was notified there about this person has Facebook Messenger. This user does not have Facebook Messenger anymore. So why would someone manually uninstall it then? Because they've been caught out. Maddie, his family know exactly what happened to him, and to some extent that could be the case because what Maddie is getting at, we've seen some text conversations in the past with Kenny Veach's daughter Vicky that confirmed and said, that's Kenny Veach, that's my dad, in that CCTV footage break-in. And then some other family-related members agreed that it was Kenny Veach on that CCTV footage. Then afterwards, some, including the daughter, retracted that statement. Why? Because they didn't want the father to get in trouble. Because what they did, like an interview with HLN or something? Awesome Destroyer. Over sure his family, so weird, and not in a weird close family vibe, more like we know something you don't. And if, in fairness, because not that you should expect it, but in true crime cases at least, the victim's family normally steps on in who wants a voice, a platform. They might even reach out on Facebook. They might reach out in some way and assist and help and provide clarity. Has that happened in the Kenny Veach case? You know, the fact that the girlfriend said that they reported Kenny Veach missing about 2 days or so after, yet the police report states it was 7 to 8 days. There's a big difference there. Why would you wait 7 to 8 days? Because if the first 24 hours are most important with any missing person case, why would you wait 7 days to then report him missing? Unusual. Cam Baker, welcome. I think I might have seen you in the past. Do you think Kenny Veach was lying about the M cave? If he was lying about the M cave, would it have been done for attention? Would it have been done as a last-ditch, desperate attempt to gain attention online, to grow the channel maybe? I mean, he's got adverts on his M cave hike video. I know YouTube can automatically add adverts on whether you're monetized or not, but you never know what happens in the background there. The other thing that needs to be acknowledged is Kenny Veach has been out there a few times. As well, Kenny Veach had other hike videos on his channel, but then they were all deleted randomly at some point. And I remember witnessing it to some extent, and there seems to be other viewers out there that witnessed it too. So Kenny Veach having a channel with older hike videos, which were just to do with simply hiking, would he need to fake something when he could have faked it years before? I wonder. Was there ever a funeral for him that you know of? Nope, no funeral from what I'm aware of. Just deemed as a missing person, and that's how it seems to be. I don't think the family ever went out there searching. Not that you might expect it, because it's a hard area to get to in the first place, but the helicopter could have been dropped in and the family could have walked about a little bit maybe, but that didn't seem to happen. Alex, Brian Koberger case family is very close. How do you mean, Alex? Close to the case, close to online with YouTube channels? I don't know. I don't know if you know, Strawberry, with the Brian Koberger case. Before Brian Koberger was apprehended, arrested, he supposedly was watching true crime channels on YouTube and even commenting, watching along. Just imagine if, with another case, a killer was watching my videos. You never know. Right now, during this live stream, there could be a killer, a serial killer, or a future killer that's watching my video right now. Studying, learning. As long as I'm not the target, then it's all good. Shuriken, I had no idea about the CCTV footage, or a lot of the stuff sounds very fishy. So it is available on my channel, Shuriken. You'll be able to find it in the playlist, on one of my most viewed videos at least. 2018 Reiki Healing Store, Enchanted Forest, run by Debbie Veach, the sister to Kenny Veach, and people that host sessions there. Kenny's younger brother, Raymond Veach. Bit of a coincidence that, isn't it? We've got Cyber Ton, welcome to the channel. Maddie, because they needed to get him away in that time. So yeah, 7 days of waiting and stalling to try and move him on. Makes sense. I get that. Oh, we got some hearts. That's good to see. Making use of those emojis. Feel free to keep on doing it. Get the activity going. 22 people watching now. We're a bit later on into the live. Nearly an hour in. Welcome. You can always rewind back if you want. Hopefully more people get to see this live down the line. Cyber, what about that video with the one-legged hopping golem? What? Breaking video. Do you think that was Veach? I didn't think he was a golem. Hopping about appeared to be the same leg injury what he did when he did his knee or leg in the past. Strawberry, I can't do it on my phone, Raf. That's unfortunate, but it doesn't matter, Strawberry, because I can feel your heart. I can feel it already, so it's all good there. He was watching Ted Bundy's cases. Oh, what, Brian Koberger? I was going to ask you if there are other videos of Kenny. Oh, you mean footage of him supposedly alive? I mean, I don't know if it was Driven X Adventure or another channel out there that supposedly caught Kenny on camera hiking about casually. And it turned out not to be Kenny, but it sounded very similar, as for the voice at least. We got the Mist Anchorite. If I'm correct in saying the Mist, you're the monk, correct? From, is it Romania or Transylvania? Pretty much same as Brian Laundrie's parents. The Mist says, yes, that's good to see. Welcome back, The Mist Anchorite. I remember you clearly. Travis, do you know if anyone has asked Chris Todd to investigate this? He's a clever independent investigator who's written many books and thinks outside the box. He's got tons of YouTube content. Don't think anyone has reached out to Chris. I didn't even know who Chris was. We had to head to the MK at that point. I said, the fact that a range of people have already been, and what they found maybe somewhat limited in terms of skills and abilities, as in bird's eye view, mapping, analysis. That's what I'm more so good at. As for the true hikers and the locals, climatized to the environment first of all, climatized to the temperature too. It's vastly different. They're good at what they do. As for me, fitness-wise, and beyond, from one extreme to another, temperature and environment. If experienced, you know, in a way, to an extent, if an experienced hiker could go out there and experience difficulties, then a non-experienced hiker, could that be another missing person case. Could I end up going missing out there? What will you do if the case is ever solved? Well, if the case is solved, it is what it is, because with me doing other cases in between, it's not like, oh no, what am I going to do now? It's not like that. But if it was solved, I could always do a reflection video to see what I was right on, what I was wrong about. Romania, Transylvania, the same thing. Well, there we go. Who sells a house with them still living in it? A desperate person? A person that loves their home so much, but at the same time they're struggling with money, so they're trying to compromise, think outside the box. Danny, why would Kenny fake it? Why would he fake it to gain the attention then disappear, as it won't get him money, so him faking wouldn't give his attention goal. Could be on his channel again. Ref, this case will probably be solved when you're not around anymore. Oh, you mean that when I'm dead? Is that what you mean? Depends, because I've had 3 to 4 near-death experiences already, so it looks like I'm not really going anywhere. Missed Anchorite, look, I think the whole thing with the Kenny thing is fake. Strawberry Ref, that's easy, you're never wrong. Well, maybe. He was interested in becoming a legend. Yeah, maybe some people don't want or don't need the money, they just want to be talked about a lot. Who lives in the house now? Were they interviewed? I don't know who lives there now, but whose house was it that we looked at? Was it Sharon Pilgrim's house on the maps, looking at satellite footage? There was that satellite footage of Kenny Veach's daughter's, Vicky Veach's house, which at different times showed Kenny's vehicle parked up at hers post 2014 onwards, which is interesting. 3 to 4 near-death experiences. How were they close to death? Do you mind explaining? Well, one, Danny, is when I was a child, very young, and I got knocked into the water, head back, by a dog. I was submerged underwater, could have drowned. Another one was where outside, thunderstorms, lightning, I stood in one spot, wet grass, holding a phone. 2 to 3 seconds later, I walk away, and in that spot, almost like a lightning strike, caught it on camera. The more prominent one is when my own body nearly killed itself during sleep paralysis, when I was on my side asleep with my head twisted facing into the pillow, almost self-suffocation. And sleep paralysis, you're awake and active, but you can't move your body. So basically, like, I was like losing consciousness, getting tired, but somehow I was able to fight out of it and roll over. There was that. There might be another one here and there, to be honest, but I don't remember it all. Final Destination type sheet. Maybe. Ref, crazy. I guess. Welcome to anyone else that has joined the live stream. If you want to rewind back, feel free to do so. You know what the crazy thing is? Well, we're over an hour in, and I've not even really talked that much about the bullet points of notes, what I was actually going to do. So that's kind of a positive, that. We've been able to remember all the previous things. That's a positive as well, because I don't know, when going from one thing to another, I think maybe forget. Do you have any more information on your notepad thingy? It depends. Well, I do, actually. I can go into it. It's just because I'm acknowledging the comments, but I will go into the comments. Danny, I don't have sleep paralysis because I believe in God, and when I do that, I say a prayer, so I don't get that. Well, in fairness, Danny, when it comes to sleep paralysis, besides religion, respect to that, I think it does run deeper with other aspects in life and encounters. That psychologically speaking, the aspect of sleep paralysis can also link to unpleasant experiences from the past, which you may have no control of, and in the moment of when you are asleep, not quite in control of. So there was quite a bit of depth behind it. As for me, though, the sleep paralysis, it's kind of random, for sure. And it was when I was much younger, before, you know, if bad things did happen, it was before. We got Fazza, welcome. Good to see. Not too many members present, but for those that are, shout out. Danny, my near-death experience was me falling off a wall. A 100 kilogram of bricks falling me, but I stood up and I was annoyed, not even hurt. Okay. The wall was loose and the 100 kilogram bricks fell on me. Now, there you go, Strawberry. Yes, exactly. Because, you know, people can experience certain things or similar stuff, but one person may have a greater backstory and depth behind it, completely different to another person. Alex, I had a firework almost hit me in the water. Oh, wow. I had blood leaking out. Well, that sounds bad enough, to be honest. I nearly decapitated my thumb when I slammed the door shut and my thumb was in it and the door shut and locked. I think I've got the scar. You can't probably see it. There's like a white dot there. That's the scar. Maddie, because what's your take on the wallet and phone found at the mine shaft that's either put there or just left there as a goodbye message? The wallet. I'll be honest with you, I kind of forgot about the wallet. I remember about the change, loose coins and a phone specifically. I wasn't aware of the wallet, and there might have been, to be honest, the coins are a bit unusual. The phone, we need to know the condition of it. Awesome Destroyer. My near-death experience was watching Raf in a movie theatre, but my volume was at max. Very scary times. Wait. Hold on, Awesome Destroyer. You were in a cinema. Were you really in a cinema watching one of my videos? What the hell? That's so. I know. Oh, there we go. Joyce Bergow. Welcome. Hey, Raf. Sorry, don't know much about Kenny Veach. Very deep case. Awesome Destroyer. My AirPods didn't connect in time and the movie sucked. Oh, no. And you had it on max volume. Did anybody else hear it or say, oh, I wonder what that is? As long as it was a video you were watching of mine, which wasn't one of those where it was out of context or there was an unusual sound or sound effect. I know some people in the past would be in one room, they would have the volume at the max, and then I'd make a certain sound unknown to them, they weren't expecting it, and then someone in another room said, sorry, what are you watching? And they're about to try and explain it. Kenny Veach is a caveman who disappeared, correct? Yes, from Las Vegas, hiker. Kenny Veach recorded a hike, at least, trying to search for an M-shaped cave where he felt vibrations, October of 2014. Couldn't find it. People wanted him to go back out. He went out one more time, November 10th, 2014, never to be seen again. We got DJ present, DJ Dream. What was the other guy? DJ React or some other DJ guy? Did you ever see the video of a man wandering around an area where Kenny Veach went missing? He looks exactly like him. Yeah, I did see that, and the voice sounded very similar, of course, but the face did not. And to be honest, in terms of the location of where it was, I don't think, from what I can remember, I don't think it was the actual same place or location, somewhere else, actually. Fazza, when I was 9, a dog bit my face. Damn, sorry to hear. I was lucky that the dog didn't take my right eye out. That's what the doctor said, that the bite just missed it. Wow. Awesome Destroyer, I got them glares from the old folk. I think the old folk need to start doing some research on the case because I'm sure they'll find it interesting. There is so much interest in Kenny's case, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Shuriken, Would opening up your grandfather's old toolbox only to find an ancient stick of dynamite switting nitroglycerin count as a near-death experience? I was in a car, box on my lap at the time. Well, you could definitely say it could have been an explosive outcome. When you were in the car, were you stationary? Hopefully you didn't have the seatbelt on. DJ Khaled. Oh no, bass drop, probably. Have they searched for him since October 2014? Well, Joyce, Red Rock Search and Rescue did their searches, such as 22nd of November 2014. I think it lasted for maybe 5 days, a week or so, and then after that, not much. And ever since, nothing whatsoever. Independent hikers and volunteers have put more search time in than Kenny's family has ever. Why would Kenny's family not do much? Maybe because they know that Kenny's not out there, so there's no need to search. Maddie was curious. Kenny left his vehicle also behind. I wonder if there was a full tank or low fuel, as if he was preparing to go back or not. Was just curious. Let's key that. Danny, are you an atheist? I'm a Muslim. You should read the Quran. No, I'm okay. DJ, yes, you're right. Mine fades as I get older. It's sad that more people are putting in more effort than search and rescue. And the thing is, Joyce Begel, the search and rescue are very hush-hush when it comes to the search. And I don't know, it might be different sets of people because, you know, with the Noah Presgrove case, you've got, what, natives, Native Americans, maybe there's a hush-hush on that in some extent. With the Kenny Veach case, you've got the, I always say it wrong, the pie shoot, the pies, we'll call them cream pies. The ones out there or so are very protective of the land, the Patuettes, and they don't want to talk much about the area where Kenny Veach hiked. Hush hush there, so it makes you wonder what's going on. Thankfully, the car wasn't moving yet. I nearly needed a fresh pair of pants after that one. Well, I don't blame you, Shuriken. And speaking of extra pairs of pants, it was Scott Natal that came across a pair in the desert area. Who knows who belonged to them. Every time you go quiet and don't move, I feel like my stream froze. Bloody hell, am I that still? Oh no. Strawberry, can you shake me up a little bit? I'm supposed to be a bit too stiff. Have you read it? Do you not like the book, or are you not interested in it at all? Well, I just don't see any need to do so. I'm okay as I am. That's under control. Okay, interesting. I'm sure my eyes look darker today. Okay, so we talked about the condition of the mine shaft. It's changed drastically within the recent 10 years or so. It's really sped up and accelerated. As for the lost time of 2016, Jeff Clark lost time on the same day he felt vibrations. Could Kenny Veach have felt vibrations, which then led to time lost? But he never looked at his hike footage when looking back at for the file size, the dates of the files. I mean, the difference is Jeff Clark took photos. Kenny was doing a recorded video and did, you know, in parts, bit by bit, and then edit it afterwards. No other hiker besides Jeff Clark and Kenny have experienced vibrations. That says a lot. So it seems like it's quite rare to feel vibrations out there. And what you got to acknowledge is Jeff Clark tends to be quite a realistic person, not easily convinced by, you know, certain stuff, wants the facts and information. And, you know, if Jeff Clark can feel vibrations as well, that does say a lot. Awesome Destroyer, when is the new series Solving True Crimes with Raf ASMR edition? Well, I'll have to look into that, I guess. Interesting. Strawberry, getting a lot. Getting a lot today. What, getting better? Yeah, sending healing to you, Strawberry. I hope your throat becomes a bit more smoother, and chest and anything else in between warms up and heal. Maddie, one last thing, I wonder, who got all Kenny's stuff, and for him to be drinking on his last video makes me see either depression or stress. Oh, drinking, you mean drinking the beer, the alcohol. So, yeah, so you, Maddie, you've seen the unreleased hike footage, haven't you? Which was uploaded by Sharon Pilgrim and then analysed by me on YouTube, when Kenny actually showed himself getting back to the vehicle and he looked dehydrated and knackered and drinking beer before water. Shuriken, so do you have a personal theory of what's going on in regard to Veach and the MK, even if you're not 100% convinced of it? I feel, Shuriken, that there is more material and evidence to suggest Kenny is away from the desert and was alive up to some point at least. But in the desert area, besides the phone, loose coins, and the vehicle, what else is there? Physically speaking, the body, bones, blood, the gun itself, none of that. I know people like to push the suicide theory, and people will push it, and many people will be like yes men and yes women without even questioning, just because of the topic and theme why it is. There'll be many people that will relate to it, so then they'll easily think Kenny must be the same. But you look closer with Kenny, there's a bit more depth there. Strawberry, thank you, darling. Lots of love. Angel. Oh, there's more than one angel. Is that so? Talk life from the coast. You talk death, I take life. Okay. Danny, mew for us. Stop mugging. Well, I get what the reference is to do with the jawline or so. But to be honest, I think the jawline is somewhat on point, especially when a fingernail's being dragged down the side of it, and not even mine. Get the natural contours going. Bruh, Maddie gonna kill me. Take life as wild. Who is Maddie? Yeah, Strawberry, we'll have conversations about that later. Okay. So the lost footage by SB Vega's Adventures in the same area where Jeff Claw lost time, in the same area where Kenny said, and a place like here where the cave could be. The same area where a lot of stuff has happened. I would say it's a hot spot personally. Danny, what would be your reaction if Kenny was found alive? Would you be relieved or would you be annoyed? Honestly, I wouldn't feel much because I am not emotionally connected to cases. I'm just simply interested in them. That's what separates me from most humans out there, especially true crime, when you're supposed to do it in a balanced way with a holistic outlook. I'm able to do that. Many humans fail. We've seen many humans fall and crumble and cause issues and harm to the case, but under control here. Awesome Destroyer, Raf, when is girlfriend revealed? Wait, it is Strawberry, right? I don't know anymore. Who could it be? It's such a mystery, isn't it? Who is Raf's girlfriend? Travis, what would you say to Kenny if he was found? It's a good question, that. Joyce Bagao, you only have a strong connection. Yeah, sure. Travis, what would I say to Kenny if he was found? What would I say? I mean, you could say a handful of stuff, right? Maybe along the lines of, did you expect it to go the way it went? If something was planned out, if he went quiet, could have been another way around it. Strawberry says, lol, what? What's going on, Strawberry? What's up? What? When is boyfriend reveal? Do I look gay to you? And granted, there may have been some humans with time that have had a bit of a gay obsession with me, which I do not appreciate. Maddie, anyway, Raf, you're awesome. Enjoy your videos. Take care. You take care as well, Maddie. And thanks for watching. We've got Andrew Culver. Right on, mate. The individual that I kept thinking was from Australia, but was from New Zealand. And I kept saying there was kangaroos, but they're supposedly not. Not look it, sound it. Oh, you mean I sound gay? Is that so? Will the real Kenny Veach please stand up? I think there's more chances of me standing up on camera than Kenny. Danny, do you think the M cave was fake and made up, or do you think it was real and actually true, but maybe the girlfriend killed him? Twilight, he's not gay. Classy. Oh, Raf, you know all the boys love you, lol. Oh, is that Sam? I guess the horses as well. Very interesting developments going on. The chat took an odd turn there. Unexpected things do happen at times. I do remember at one point there was a 6-on-1 interrogation on me at one point. 6 people pouncing on me. Very unusual. Andrew, how are you, mate? Feels like it's been ages. I mean, what community did you go on to, Andrew? I know the Kenny Veach, not Kenny, well, Kenny Veach, wasn't it? Yeah. And the Dylan Rounds case, for sure. Twilight, oh, should see it when talking on Noah's case. Yeah, definitely. Really ramps it up. That's the fun thing about your streams, where you always have to upset with the unexpected. It's true. Strawberry, very odd. What? Raf, onto you? Who's onto me? Am I onto someone? Who's on top? Who's underneath? What? Interesting. Fazza, Raf, do you like older women? Why, what age range are you referring to? I'm sure I'm getting PTSD flashbacks to that last live stream that was done when I was in the dark. Whew. Awesome Destroyer. Okay, that note, what other things have you found about the case? I can mention it. Fazza, do I like women in their 50s? Well, with respect, no, because practically it's not practical. Shokin, I salute you for doing lives. Honestly, people have been leaning on me to stream lately, but I reckon it would be a snooze fest. I mean, you could try a live here and there, see how it goes. Only do it if you want to. Strawberry, Raf, I meant in a live you were ganged upon. That's true. Danny, Raf, I didn't get an answer to my previous question. What question was that, Danny? Do you think M Cave was fake and made up, or do you think it was real and actually true, but maybe the girlfriend killed him? So me personally, I don't think the girlfriend killed Kenny, personally. Do I think the cave is fake or not? That's unknown of, because there is material out there to suggest there could be an M cave here or there, but whether it's the true one, who knows? Because one hiker saw an M-shaped cave higher up on elevation ground, and every other hiker has not seen it and walked by it. What else could be out there? So that's what I think. Fazza says, oh damn, that counts me out. Well, if it counts, based on your profile picture, you don't look 50. Strawberry. Oh, Fazza, he's completely taken, which makes me lucky. Awesome Destroyer. Raf, I solved a crime case in my state. Wow. Does that sound? The problem is my big head covers the strawberry in the background, which is unfortunate. Joyce Bagow, strawberry, I'm engaged. Raf became my buddy. The Burgowinator. Yeah. We've got Cleo present. Welcome, Cleo. Did you follow my Kenny Veach videos? I know I came across you in the Dylan Rounds case. Fazza says, I'm 56 this year. I mean, I know it's quite hard to see the profile picture, but based on the dark, shiny hair, what you have, because the profile picture's half tilted, what age would I guess? 43. It looked a bit awkward then when my head was angled, but I was trying to look close to the screen. When I keep seeing the word buddy, I keep seeing it too quickly, and I think it says Bundy, and I'm thinking, oh no, I'm going to be called Ted Bundy again. For anyone that didn't know, there was a phase or period where people believed I was the reincarnation of Ted Bundy. And yes, I do have a crowbar present, just not with me at this moment. "3 days ago, Mum gets Amber Alert sent for her kidnapped daughter, and it seemed very weird, and it's clear and came out that the mum faked the whole thing and killed the 3-year-old girl. Damn. Now, you're the reincarnation of Jack the Ripper." Ooh. Is that so? Supposedly, Strawberry, I am Jack the Ripper. How do you feel about that? Best sharpen my blade, right? Practice those skills. Yeah, so I still think the condition of Kenny Veach's phone is a major factor and an important point, and because it's not been talked about openly by the search and rescue, it makes it a little bit suspicious. If the phone is heavily damaged, it could have been thrown in a rush, or it could have been destroyed on purpose by Kenny, or against his will if somebody else took control of him. If it was gently placed down, it seems more like, I don't know, I'll put it down gently, so then people can find it on purpose. Ooh, all those emojis. Lots of love to you, my strawberry, my sweet strawberry. Bye, Raf. Headed to a wedding rehearsal. Woo. Take care. Bring the fish with you. Okay. Phone condition. Kenny Veach versus Jeff's vibrations. Were they very similar? No fish, maybe cornholes. I think that's good enough, Bagow. Get a cornhole cake and see where that goes. Instead of throwing cake about, you're going to be throwing sacks. Fill those sacks full and fill those holes at the same time. Not to be taken out of context. Cornhole is a real thing. MVP winner, Bagow. The relationship status between Kenny Veach and Sharon. That's a very important point, that, to be honest. I will, Ref. Take care. Sakafan, do you know of anyone in the States that knows EquiSearch? Not personally, but I've heard of Texas EquiSearch, which was used in the Dylan Rounds case of 2022, but I believe more specifically used in 2023 onwards. But the situation with Kenny Veach and Sharon Pilgrim is Sharon Pilgrim being a mental health expert in that field and being a little bit relaxed and a little bit lenient and a bit casual about the Kenny situation. You know, you can only do so much for someone that may be struggling or suffering, but if you're an expert on top of it all, see, the interesting dynamic is Sharon Pilgrim is a mental health expert in the field, but was also in a relationship with Kenny Veach. Now, if you have a loved one, if you have a girlfriend, if you're married to someone, and that other person, the partner, is suffering or struggling psychologically, for example, it might not be something you can instantly fix or heal or take over or take control of. All you can do is give a bit of support and listen in. But you might get the odd exception where one individual upon this entire earth can separate feelings and disconnect and lock in and analyze and create the causes and effects and the deep roots, the traces and the origins of it all, and bring about a possible resolve in a very natural way. But to be able to do anything like that requires you to not be biased and not to have a conflict of interest. And 99.9% of the times, if you are with a loved one or have a partner, there's only so much you can do, but the rest of the work needs to be done by the help of a professional. But it just happens that Sharon Pilgrim was a professional, but also connected with Kenny Veach by heart. And yet, was enough done? Maybe not. Not from the looks of it. Shuriken, your thoughts on the vibrations, infrasound, and so on. What do you think those are? Not really looked deep enough, to be honest, with that. I think Jeff Clark, fellow hiker, had maybe possible examples of the vibrations. What I will have to do at some point, if I do a video specifically, I will try and ask Jeff Clark what the vibrations either sounded like or felt like, because I'm sure he gave an example in the past, but to try and find an email, I don't know if I'll be able to get it, but I'll try and give a resolve there. Cleo, didn't blame her at times. Who? Who's her? Can you solve the Zodiac Killer? If it's got anything to do with deciphering stuff, I wouldn't say I did that bit. Michelle Mosaic did. Badger Life. Oh no, I'm late. I'll let you off, Badger. It's okay. But yeah, in regard back to Sharon Pilgrim and Kenny Veach, not married, but girlfriend, boyfriend, but switching on and off between friends and relationships, a bit all over the place, to be honest. You look at how they address each other, it's a little bit unusual. Maybe more could have been done. Maybe more intervention could have been done. But if it's that concept of Sharon could only do so much because of conflict of interest. Sharon and Kenny. Oh, you mean Sharon with an E, not Sharon. No. So was Sharon Pilgrim in a cult? Was she trying to sacrifice Kenny? I don't think she is a part of a cult. Maybe more so a spiritual person, unless it links back to any spiritual groups out there. What else do we have? You know what needs to be acknowledged is the start of the hike when it comes to Kenny Veach. When hiking out there, Kenny Veach's hike video starts with them 3 to 4 hours on into the hike at the mineshaft. Kenny Veach didn't even record himself at Joe May Road or way parked up. Why did he not record himself saying, hey, my name's Kenny Veach, I just got out of my vehicle, I'm going to walk up this canyon north and show you the whole hike route? Why would Kenny Veach only show part of the hike? If he's there to show you the cave and get close to it, why is he not giving the directions or any coordinates in the first place? Because fellow hikers since have provided coordinates of either places of search, places of interest, things that still need to be searched, mapped out the hike routes. Why didn't Kenny Veach do any of that? It's like Kenny Veach wanted it all to himself and didn't want anyone else to find it, in a way. Is that why he gave false locations and mislabeled it, maybe? Maybe. Might stand in just a second now, just because I'm a bit achy, back as well, a bit sore. Sorry, my head's... Well, that last video he had gun to his head walking down, hence the voices in the background. A gun to his head. Well, I've not seen any footage of that. Ref, we need a fit check. Awesome Destroyer, what is a fit check? Is that to do with clothing or is that to do with something else? Because personally, I can't really fit myself on camera because I'm a bit too big. Interesting. Welcome to anyone else that has joined. We need to see the full outfit. There's not really much to show, to be honest. It's quite basic. Missy Clay, gate keypad, giving out location. What keypad? I don't remember a keypad. What's it all about? I think there was a time once where I did stand on the chair. Can't really see much there. There's not much space to turn. It's a bit small. Sorry about that. But the material at the top is very silky, if that's the way you describe it. Oh no, I've created a lot of static electricity, strawberry. I've created electrical waves. We're going to feel Badger Life Gothic style. Yeah. Soul Rebel, did you find out who Really Robin is, or Eric the Hiker? Not Eric the Hiker. As for Really Robin, well, if we're talking about the original Robin, I did that Q&A in the past. Badger Life, Temu. No, I don't do Temu. I'm not the brand ambassador like that giggling goblin that was all about Temu. Get my discount codes. Oh my god, I'm a brand ambassador. Come on along. Come and get it right now. I'll do a referral, and yeah, we can get all these links together, and we'll team up on the communities out there. And yeah, whatever. No, it wasn't from there. It was, I think, from Amazon. Did anyone lose sound? Oh no. Well, to get the sound back, that's what I'm all about. There we go. Didn't you say, Cleo, that my impression of you was very accurate? Are you clapping your hands often? One topic that might get you deleted is covering the Grand Canyon and why there are restricted areas and owned by NASA. Is that so? What other things do we need to look at? I got the sound back. There we go. Clapping works. If in doubt, give a big clap. Slaps and claps seem to fix the audio, doesn't it, Strawberry? I'm away. Hope everyone has a good one, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Take care, Shuriken. You got a good username. Yeah, so I think Kenny Veach should have started his hike and recorded it from the beginning and not 3 to 4 hours into the hike, because what was the purpose of that? Is a bit unusual. It does ref. Exactly. What else do we have? Kenny Veach, when he was over, I believe, Wild Horse Pass and going down to the cut area, he did say, well, there's caves over that way, but I'm going down there. So that's interesting. The caves where he said over there is like to do with Robin's Canyon, which Robin explored. So, like Joe May Guzzler. So it makes you think that if Kenny had gone the other way where the caves are, would he have found anything else? What do we have? Chances of being found and Kenny Veach land takeover. What remains about the land takeover? Oh, someone on Amazon shops at Temu or Shine and results it on Amazon, so now it's an Amazon shirt. I like it anyway. And well, to my knowledge, it was definitely Amazon, and it was before the whole Temu craze and trend there. And if not, that could have been eBay, but Strawberry Ref, I love your shirt. Well, this is the one that you can have yourself if you want. It might be a bit too big, but, you know, you can wear it if you want, Strawberry. Because I was thinking it would go with you well, because most of the material is really smooth on the inside and on the outside. You can have it if you want. Faza, I get my work shorts off Temu. Badger, laughing my ass off. Don't laugh it off too much. You might lose it. Yes, of course, Strawberry. Yes. It will have to be sent, won't it? Just like that other surprise. You remember that one? Well, you wouldn't know, would you? Because you don't know where it is. Anyway. Mystically, good one. Is that so? I bet your shirt doesn't look like the pic. Yeah, Strawberry. Ooh, so many mysteries, aren't there? So if I'm still standing, it's just because my back's aching. That's all. But yeah, the chances of Kenny Veach being found, the desert area versus the public area, what's more likely? Desert area, vast and open, needle in a haystack. An alive person present in public sight, but maybe identity change, maybe visually changing. Any easier or more difficult? Well, if you're in the desert and you're dead, more static. If you're alive, you're moving about, commuting. But you're in environments where there could be surveillance and cameras. In the desert, there isn't really, besides trail cameras, and it depends where they are. And if bones are scattered by animals, it can become a needle in the haystack. So I think whether Kenny's in the desert or in the public, it's better for him to be in the public, dead or alive, than in the desert, because the chances of finding something. Hold on a minute. What's going on here? Doctor said I needed to lose 10 pounds. I told him, nope, I'm keeping my dog. Interesting. Mountain goat shapeshifter. It is creepy, that. Fazza says, give us a bedroom tour. Well, I can pinpoint some stuff out. Off camera, I've got a massive banana. Back there, handcuffs. Headboard there to the left. Get the pony out. Oh, the pony's downstairs. It's in the stables, resting. And then as for the wardrobe, not just one, two. And as for one of the wardrobes, and interesting stuff. Very interesting clothing in the wardrobe for sure. Doubt they're federal agent spies. No. You know what, I'm surprised the lighting is doing quite well outside for once. It's not got too dark, has it? So if anyone has any additional questions in regard to the Kenny Veach case, mystery, anything you need to learn, any additional points, you can always leave it in the comments. Really 2,200 hours, which isn't too bad. Resources, Grey Hughes, investigates on YouTube, Google Earth, and there's an uncanny neck to match up video to Earth. Is that so? A diddy dog. No. Very big. Very big. Okay. So at least give it 10 more minutes or so, and then I might end the stream. We'll just see if there's any final points or any additional things. I don't want to be doing it as late tonight because it kind of fucks up the sleep pattern. Yes, Strawberry. What is that? What's up? So for most part of it, I've mentioned the notes, managed to catch up there. Besides the reference of Kenny and the land takeover with military, the timing of it all is interesting. Badger, Kenny, I believed Kenny faked it. I mean, people's main idea could be, well, if you're going to fake it, it's going to be all down to money motivation, but maybe some people have other motivations besides the money aspect. For faking a possible death, for disappearance. I mean, would Kenny be faking a death or faking a disappearance? You can fake a disappearance, but still be presumed alive. Grey is good with maps. Okay. So Strawberry, oh, what's this? You have a look of extreme mischief. Should I be scared? Oh, I didn't even know. Is that so, Strawberry? Should you be scared? I think the real question is, Strawberry, shouldn't you be used to it by now? There we go. That's going to be taken out of context by strangers who will hear that for the very first time. That is Sam. Extreme mischief. So what could that entail then? What do you think? I mean, I can't comment myself because who knows what you're doing behind the screen. Are you looking into the camera? Are you too busy drinking tea, trying not to spill it this time round? Yes, if you're playing video games with him. Oh, is Strawberry playing with my joystick? Okay. I didn't know it was connected in, but there we go. Very interesting developments. Faz, I'm sitting in my car watching your live. Nice. So we've had some very interesting developments tonight. Suggestions that supposedly I sound gay. Maybe it's probably just because the real Valley girl accent keeps kicking on in from time to time. Oh my God, I need a coffee to calm down. Real hectic schedule. My goodness gracious me, golly gosh. But, you know, it happens. Just finished work, haven't gone inside the house yet. Okay. Hopefully the weather's okay. How valuable would his hiking be? Familiarity. As in the value of his wealth and knowledge of the area when hiking. I mean, he said he's been out there, from how it's added up, 3 to 4 times. And yet he didn't seem to be able to label the places correctly. Okay, he did it without a map, compass, but as experienced as he is, he also seems very inexperienced and amateur-like, which is probably, I don't know, maybe could be considered rude, but it's just an observation. Bit of a reckless hiker in a way. Not to say that that's what led to being deserving of his outcome, but just in how he put his safety not always first, he put other things first, as in challenging and pushing himself. Badger life, young men make better looking women and old women make better looking men. I mean, that's something that I need to read a few times because my mind doesn't always pick up on it immediately. Man. Yeah, it's probably not clicking my head properly. I think it was that time when Tasha T ended up leaving a comment or so, and I was trying to read it and I couldn't quite understand it. Oops. This is where I should come out with something very clever on the spot, but I can't think. I think it takes a farmer with firm but soft hands and a gentle touch to grow and bring the best out of a crop of strawberries. There we go. Strawberry, I have rewatched things over and over. Fazza, is that vodka in the bottle? Nope. I don't drink alcohol. It's summer fruits. Okay. It's a bit dark, isn't it? That's probably why it looks a bit mischievous. Getting all dark, ref after dark. If anyone has joined very late towards this live stream of the Kenny Veach case M Cave mystery, be sure to rewind back to the beginning. That's where it's mainly focused at. Bloody auto spell. Don't worry, Strawberry. Not the first time, won't be the last. Fazza, me, Eva Raf. Well, there we go. So, as for a heads up, next video that I do will be Noah Presgrove related. Got to catch up with the Caden Pressey situation. I'm going to try and aim to do that tomorrow, but then again, when I think about it, being a bit busy midday or so, with the Caden Pressey stuff, got to make notes. That takes time as well. I'll just see. I'll definitely do a video tomorrow, but I might juggle it about depending. Strawberry, Raf, you're gorgeous and hot. Well, I appreciate that, Strawberry. I mean, massive compliment coming from yourself when, well, I could do a whole live stream itself dedicated to you, talking about how amazing you are. But I think YouTube only has, how long can you live stream for? About 11 hours. It's going to take more than that when describing you. Yeah. I'll probably only spend the first 11 hours talking about your hair, then the next 11 hours talking about your eyes, and then the next 11 hours talking about your, what? Ears? Fingers? They're full on like biology class in a way. You wish. Well, who knows? But what can be done then, whilst live streams are limited to 11 hours or so, a recorded video can be, I think, as long as possible. Don't quote me on that. I did do a live stream once. No, not a live stream, a live premiere, and it was 7 hours long. It was a slideshow of photos of pictures, but it was done just so people could hang out and chat. And people got PTSD from all the photos, and it was like 30 minutes per slide of a photo, and it was so boring and dull. But I was thinking, well, I don't know what else can be done. It was just like more of an experiment. It was a complete waste of time, to be honest, but I just wanted to see how it would go. I'm not going to be doing something like that again. Cleo, I did it to support you. Oh, you're referring to that live stream. Well, I appreciate that. I know there was people that did hang out and for many hours. The funny thing was, Strawberry, I did the live premiere at, what was it, 2200 hours. And then 7 or 8 in the morning when I woke up, my live premiere was still going. Oh no. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so the notes what I've got here, I think it overlaps with the bloody, no, Presgrave case, because I've got all papers all over. Not that I like making notes always because of the clutter. So Cafe and another source is Reddit. I haven't checked if there is anything posted about Kenny. There's a good point that I have used Reddit with the Presgrave case and it went downhill ever since. A lot of drama and conflict over there. Reddit is a very incompetent place, but at the same time, it can be good at times. As for Kenny Veach, I don't think there are like dedicated pages to Kenny. There might be unsolved mystery subreddits, but you can't post there or you can't like share videos. You get shut down or post for me, which is a bit dumb. You know, if you wanted to spread awareness and whatnot, but yeah. Can always look back. Was it the Kenny? No, it wasn't the Kenny Veach case. It was the Dylan Rounds case where there was like an online chat forum. Oh no. I remember it now, the Dylan Rounds case. It was, what was it called? The Red Light District? Or it was some like really dodgy, almost like prostitution sounding website, but it was to do with a forum where people hang out and talk about cases. But when I first clicked on it, I thought, oh shit, what have I got onto? It was okay in the end, but it was just a dodgy name. Cleo, why not notes? I have notebooks everywhere of your cases. Well, I know, Cleo, you said you've got notebooks, you've got notes, but when it comes to making videos, you've not made any, so what's happened to those notes? So, Cafen, it gets a lot of traffic. What gets a lot of traffic? Reddit in general, or certain subreddits, or are you referring to the Kenny Veach case? Of course, I would like to share my videos on Reddit, but it's just not possible because there's nowhere to really share it. I mean, I can share videos now on Discord through a certain like YouTube related thing. There is a subreddit to do with YouTubers and stuff, smaller scale channels where I can share videos onto there. So yeah, I'll take that on board as best as I can. I do like sharing videos, of course, because it will help the channel as well, but it's just trying to find the places to share it in the first place because some places are very strict with the rules and regulations. So I'll have to be on the lookout for that. But as for Sakafen, as for your profile picture, well, I can't quite see it clearly, but it looks good, whatever that is. Okay. Well, we're at a decent time now. I will slowly start a countdown and then see if there's any questions in between. Surprised Jeff Clark didn't show up tonight. Okay. I'll do a countdown from 20 and then see where we are from there. You're welcome, Sakafen. Thanks for joining and being present. Faza, goodbye, everybody. Have a great night or day. You too as well. And get comfy in the house. Don't be in the car too long if it gets a bit cold. Or whatever the weather is like, though. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Bloody hell, my mouth is dry. 14. Oh, hey, we got the koala bars. That's a good emoji. I've never seen them before. 14, 13. I like how when I'm doing a countdown towards the end, more people end up joining. Hey, Strawberry. Yeah? Hmm? Do you want the light on? No, actually, do you want the curtains drawn? It actually makes it a bit brighter as well, even though it's in a dark room. By bringing in the curtains in, because of the colour of the curtain, it actually makes it a bit brighter. Just see. Don't really need to shut them anyway, but... How much did I shut? Oh my god, they don't shut them off. That's not working, is that? It's all snuggly and close now. Bloody hell, look at this. Now, it looks like I'm in a dark abyss in the background. My hair's so black that it blends in with the darkness. It does. Is it more cozy, Strawberry, or is it a bit too claustrophobic? All these curtains everywhere. At least it's curtains, not bed sheets. Oh shit, I just said it. I just said the word curtains. Uh-oh. My accent's creeping on in. Not surprised. I'll be you know, Strawberry, I'll be talking in that accent almost all the time at some point, won't it? Oh, you find it cozy? Okay, hold on a second, Strawberry. I'm going to break something in a second because the curtains. Okay. Peekaboo, Strawberry. There we go. Andy, how dare you? How dare I? What, for saying curtains or bed sheets? Which one? You want some bed sheets? See, that sounds quite innocent, doesn't it? You want some patterned bed sheets? I'll take you down to the market. Curtains? Yeah. Speaking of curtains, are your curtains drawn, or do you want me to do that for you? Well, I've already done it, haven't I? That's why they're like this. Your curtains. You felt how smooth they are. I've noticed that they're really smooth on this side, but really rough on the other side. Interesting. I should have done my live stream like this, the talking curtains. You can't see my face, but you can hear the voice. The curtains have eyes. So, interesting times. Of course, if anyone's joined late, you'll be thinking, is this some kind of dodgy TikTok challenge, some weird TikTok donation thing? Give stickers and the curtains will open wider. Ooh, very interesting. What makes you say it's very interesting, Strawberry? The fact that the curtains are smooth? Or the fact that you're smoother? And I must say, Strawberry, that channel membership reddish skull is very fitting and aesthetically pleasing against your strawberry emoji. I think you're the only person I've come across on YouTube that has the strawberry emoji next to your username, at least to what I've seen. How interesting. Yeah, ooh, I like it when you do that. Wow, it's got so dark now. Is that just because of the curtains, I guess? It is. I also like when you do that sound. It's very mysterious because it could mean anything. It could mean you're interested. It could mean the light switch is turned on. It could mean you're thinking. It could mean you're humming to something. It could mean anything, couldn't it, Strawberry? There's a lot of depth and mystery behind words at times. And it appears as well, I've lost count of the countdown that I was trying to do. Naughty, naughty. So nice. Okay. 20, 19. And by the way, I like that countdown earlier. That was real good, that. Very, very effective. Very, very effective, the countdown. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Effective, very effective indeed, Strawberry. Very efficient, very clear, crystal clear, and heavy too. I've lost count again. Oh, goodness gracious me. What am I doing? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And before I end the live stream, yes, Strawberry. Miss Strawberry, what is it? I was going to try something before I end the live stream, just to see if it does work. Oh. Call me Andy. What is it? What is it now? What is it, my red rose? I want to try, there's like some settings on the side of the live stream tab, and I just want to see what would happen if I clicked on it. Take care, Cleo. Yes, Strawberry. I'm listening. I'm looking into your eyes. What is it? Do tell me, please. Oh God, a moth's just jumped on me. On the window, I mean. So I'll get a bit closer. What is it, Strawberry? Hey. Why do I just sound like American? Hey, Strawberry. How are you? You doing okay? Why are your eyes so hypnotizing? Bloody hell. I'm trying to look at the camera talking, but I'm too busy looking at the comments. Well, not quite the comments, just the eyes. It's always your eyes that draw me to you, as in the comments. Well, besides, you know, your name in green because you're a member on the channel. It's just, I don't know, it's something about your face. You know, like with, you know, all the different like profile pictures. I remember all the different profile pictures, and every one just as good as the other, but getting better every time, you know. Well, they're all good, of course, but I know it's just maybe the angling, maybe it's the, I don't know, the eye contact, the way you're kind of looking at the camera. It's like, whoa. Welcome to anyone that is watching in the background, slightly confused as to where we're at now. Interesting times, of course. My profile picture is kind of simple, but it's one of those things where I don't want to change it because I wouldn't be able to get a better one. Strawberry, oh, and makeup, lol. Strawberry, even without, I can't find the words to describe how amazing you are. You know, put extra things aside and see you for you. Makes me smile inside. Casey, oh, Casey with his shillings. Shame that Oliver Twist didn't show up at the time, saying, Casey, could I have some more? Welcome, Casey. I don't know if you're familiar with the Kenny Veach M Cave case mystery, but I talked about it earlier on. When you put the video up, I tell you, it didn't sound like Kenny. When you put the video up, what video up? Didn't sound like Kenny. What, the one where caught on camera by another YouTuber? Is that what you mean? Anyway, let me try something. Oh, we got a green screen now. What does this actually do? Okay. So what the green screen does, but I don't like it though. It's not exactly good. So if you've got photos in your album on the device, you can use it as a background. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's practical personally. This is the thumbnail of the live stream. Oh, it's a bit blurred, but it's probably more of an experimental feature. I mean, yeah, there are other like slides and images that could be used, but it's not categorized that well. Keep it like that for now, just to be safe. There we go. Strawberry, your pictures you put up are gorgeous. Well, I appreciate that. All right, J Chuck Vlogs. There we go. J Chuck's present. Casey, I'm a sexy guy too, Strawberry. Lol, I'm an old man. 47. Okay. But yeah, big shout out to J Chucks. Looking sharp, Raf. Appreciate that. I don't know if you've seen J Chuck, but on my channel, the community section tab, I've done some exercise related update photos if you wanted to check. I don't know if it will help or not, but they are there in case you're wondering. But I appreciate what you say, Strawberry. Why is it when there's times when I'm trying to say words and I can't get the words out? But you know, Strawberry. Or if not, I'll just mention afterwards. Okay, let's try count. Is there anything else I could possibly try and adjust? Retouches on. I don't know what retouch is. There's a camera where it can flip. There's another one in the middle, but I don't know what that actually does. I don't want to press it just in case. So I'll just leave it like that. Oh, Cleo. Cleo, I thought you said you were leaving. You were watching in the background, lurking. Naughty individual. Anyway, besides that, I think that pretty much wraps it all up, almost. Curtains are in tatters right now because I've been flinging them about. I'll have to sort them out shortly. We don't want creased curtains, do we? Curtains. Strawberry, do you want a tea? Strawberry. Strawberry. It'd be interesting to see the after effects of this video because it's been done as a shorts style vertical. What reach will it get? It'd be interesting to check. Strawberry, yes. Okay, well, I'm going to end the live stream. I'm going to make Strawberry some tea and then, I guess, stretch. El Panther. Oh, we got a Mexican luchador wrestler. Get in there with a rose as well. Kenny Veach is more likely inside the mine under a collapse. I mean, people have been down there and checked and didn't find any indications of that. I don't know if it's even possible if you could do like a comparison bird's eye view of looking down the mine shaft of 2014 with Kenny and when Jeff Clark did. We'll have to see. Okay. Well, shout out to everyone that has watched and especially those that have stuck about for all this time during the live and maybe more to come in the future. We will see. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. There we go. Take care, Casey. Lots of love, Strawberry. And there we go. Hit the end. There we go. Boom.